Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
So was Joel wrong when he took Ellie from the Fireflies by the end of The Last of Us? Did his attachment to her get the better of the morally right thing to do? Would this final event cause a rift between these two characters? And what are the repercussions of Joel's actions for the future of The Last of Us universe? Anyways, what is up you guys, this is Adeva, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the last segment of The Last of Us and how this could impact the relationship between Joel and Ellie. Also, we'll be answering some of the harder questions about morality, integrity, selfishness, and see if Joel really did the right thing. Anyways, before we get started with the video, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. Alright, so for those of you who've never played The Last of Us, I highly suggest you do, because in all honesty, this game is highly regarded as one of the greatest games of all time, with its amazing and emotional storyline to its overall setting and the dynamic between Joel and Ellie, and seeing how the relationship could have changed the outcome of humanity in the game. So if you made it this far in the video, there are a lot of spoilers ahead, so I'm just giving you a fair warning. Alright, so by the end of The Last of Us, both Joel and Ellie have developed a bond that should be able to stand the test of time, where both characters have gone through so much trauma that would make any normal human being go insane.
Stop! Stop!
Fucking touch me!
It's okay. It's me. It's me. It's me. Look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
Joel.
It's okay.
But with this father-daughter bond that they formed, this in turn could have some repercussions for Joel's actions when Ellie decided to push forward and help the Fireflies find the cure, because Ellie's one of those individuals who's immune to the cordyceps infection, and it was said that undergoing an operation to take out a specific fungal strain from her brain would lead to her eventual death. Also on a quick note, the cordyceps infection is a type of fungal strain that affected the millions of lives in The Last of Us, making anyone infected into these.
Clickers?
Shit! Go!
So if you guys are interested, please let me know in the comment section below if you want me to cover more about it and The Last of Us in the future. Anyways, back on topic, Ellie making her choice of continuing her journey to find the Fireflies would eventually have her in the midst of doing the morally right thing to do for the greater good of humanity, stating to Joel that after all the trauma that they've been through, it all has to mean something, implying that finding the Fireflies and helping them with the cure could be something that would have made everything worthwhile. But these viewpoints is not shared by Joel, because his attachment to Ellie is in a way a second chance of having a daughter, especially after seeing his own daughter Sarah die in his arms at the very start of the game.
Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. Alright, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. Please.
So his overall mentality and values can be understood after going through so much heartache. I mean, any father who's lost a daughter wouldn't give up a second chance of having that father-daughter bond once again. So now begs the question, was Joel wrong for what he did to the Fireflies by the end of The Last of Us? Was he wrong for choosing to save Ellie's life? Because if you were put in that situation, what would you have done if you were given the same exact circumstance as Joel? Would you have been able to muster up the will to let go of your attachment to a loved one just to save the greater good of humanity? Was this second chance of having a daughter really worth the bloodshed that would ensue ensue for both characters in the future.
You just come after her.
Because the morally right thing to do was to let the Fireflies get the cure from Ellie, which would kill her as a result to save countless lives. But this is why The Last of Us was amazing, because it plays on both sides of morality, because any sane father would willingly give up his life for his child, let alone if he had a second chance to do it again after already losing a daughter. But Ellie's selfless choice of wanting to continue her journey finding the Fireflies for the cure cannot be overlooked, because as someone who works in the medical field, I'm dealt with situations that would be morally right to some, but unjust to others. With some examples is the initiation of CPR if needed, or transfusion of blood products if warranted, because these individual choices is what's valued by its person. So Ellie's choice of self-sacrifice should have been respected by Joel, regardless of how difficult this could have been for him, because one could think that his actions when slaughtering the medical staff and the rest of the Fireflies would have been the ultimate sign of selfishness, where he's trying to preserve his own sanity, his own comfort, and his own desires by keeping Ellie from her own choices. Anyways, the aftermath of Joel's actions could have some dire consequences for both of them, which could lead to the premise of the sequel, The Last of Us 2.
What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this?
I'm gonna find. And I'm gonna kill. Every last one of them.
Where both characters' relationship with one another would be tested, and see if Joel would have the integrity to own up to his actions, which is the most pronounced when Ellie states,
Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Because with that look, with her desire to know the truth, Joel blatantly lies to her face for the sake of his short-term bond with her. And in a way, you have that feeling that deep down she knows he's lying, but is trying to preserve that bond with him as well, which is something that she has to consider. Because now, not only does this lie may affect their future relationship, but this outcome could have prevented the many more traumatic events for the future of humanity in the Last of Us universe. But as we look onward for the upcoming release of The Last of Us 2, we'll sure be able to delve deep on what has happened to the relationship to that point in the timeline, and see how this could set up for another classic in the making. Anyways, do you guys agree with Joel's actions? Do you think this would ruin the relationship in The Last of Us 2? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, if you guys enjoyed the content, please feel free to hit that notification bell icon so you guys can be alerted when I upload my next Last of Us video. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you guys have a great rest of your day, and this is Hey Deva, signing out.